Our first sponsor for the podcast is Inverted Gear. Inverted Gear sells jiu-jitsu equipment. They sell gis, rash guards, shorts, all that cool stuff. They're really cool people, really great customer service. They have a cool blog. Check it out. Go to invertedgear.com. Type in the coupon code SHOWTHEART15, no spaces. You'll get 15% off, and you will enjoy what you get. Our next sponsor is Chimera Coffee. Chimera Coffee is coffee from Dominican Republic infused with nootropics. If you don't know what nootropics are, they're things that help your brain run a little quicker, fire the synapses a little faster, help you remember words better. Just Google it. Trust me, you won't go wrong. It's a great tasting coffee, and you'll love it. Go to their website, chimeracoffee.com with a K, not .com with a K, coffee with a K, and type in the coupon code SHOWTHEART, no spaces, and you will get 10% off. Boom! On this episode, we talk to Muay Thai legend John Wayne Parr. We talk about his mindset when he's competing, how his training works, and we go into a little bit of MMA fight talk. John is a really cool dude. We really enjoyed him on the podcast. We hope you guys enjoy it. And if you did, please, on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever, wherever you're downloading it, please give a good review and give a 5-star rating. It goes a long way. Also, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Check out our website. We have a cool store there where we're selling hoodies and patches, and soon we'll be selling t-shirts. Please enjoy. Hey, is this John?
No, it's Chris.
Oh, damn it.
Hello.
Get John on the phone, Chris.
Yeah, I can hear.
John, are you there?
Yep.
Chris.
So welcome to Australia.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's American, so I got to deal with America every day.
Oh, where is she from?
California. She's from a little place called Victorville.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Did you meet her in America or overseas?
Yeah, we met in Vegas.
Oh,
for a fight or?
Yeah, so, I got offered a job to work in a gym over there, and when I arrived, she was the most famous female in America at the time for Muay Thai.
Wow.
So she used to do all the super fights for K1.
Amazing. What's her name?
Yeah, Angela Rivera.
Oh,
She used to fight on the undercards of when Scott Coker used to run the K1 shows over there in Vegas.
Wow. That's
She was
pretty
a regular on ESPN back in the day.
Maybe we can get her on after we hang up with you.
Hey, for sure. Yeah.
Does she still train with you?
Yeah. Well, she doesn't fight anymore. She had 50 fights, won 2 world titles.
Wow.
She was a former.
She just took the class this morning and kicked my ass pretty much, made me do 7 kicks.
I'm really happy about that, Cristiano.
Oh, yeah? I'm glad. I'm
Very
glad you're
happy.
happy, mate.
Yeah, because you've been a jiu-jitsu guy for too long. You got to get your hands and your feet right.
Yeah, that's right. We get used to being uncoordinated again.
Remember, Cristiano, all the fights, 100% of the fights start standing up.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's why I'm here.
Boom.
And how was class, guys? How was John, did you teach the class today?
No, my wife did, Angie.
Gotcha. And how was class, Cristiano? Did you get beat up? Did you learn anything new?
Yeah. Just a lot of kicks, man. Lots of kicks.
Nice. John, do you spar your wife like at home, like if she's cooking or you're cooking and she passes you in the kitchen? Do you guys like just start punching and kicking at each other?
No, she retired from sparring me not long after we met. One of our sparring sessions, she got pregnant. So since then, she's stayed away.
Excellent.
Nice. So that's a clear knockout. That's a clear win.
Yeah.
You guys both won that. That's a draw.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Excellent. John, you've mauled a lot of people, man. I was watching some of your highlights last night. Oh my goodness.
Yikes.
You are monstrous. And you have power everywhere. You're using all of your weapons. All of your tools have knocked someone out.
Yes, that's the plan. To try and hit someone. If I'm going to hit someone, I might as well hit him as hard as I can.
John, what I love about your style, I wish I remember what fight it was because I've seen a lot of your fights. There was one fight. Hopefully you remember it, but the guy kept trying to clinch you like a full plum clinch, and to get out of it, you were just blasting him in the face with like double overhands nonstop, boom, 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 and he had to let go of the clinch. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and I think I stopped him. That was the one in Switzerland.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was like an awesome way of getting out of the full tie clinch. Like instead of like pummeling and trying to like sweep off that, you just like blasted him in the face as hard as you could. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then the thing is, if the first punch lands and the second one punch lands, then you may as well just keep punching.
So true, so true. Would you say you're taller or shorter than most of your opponents?
Good question. I don't know. It's always, you never know what you're going to get. So sometimes, sometimes small, sometimes short. So.
And do you prefer a taller opponent, or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. I'm not racist. I beat up everybody. Small, tall, short, whatever.
That's why I'm in the car park now. Just avoiding it.
That's awesome. And you have a fight coming up, right? Scheduled for July 11th?
June 11th. Over in London at the O2 Arena. I'm fighting a gentleman from Greece, so it should be very, very cool.
That's awesome, man. And you're 39, I believe.
1 month away from turning 40.
Wow, that's awesome.
And you're feeling good, huh? Body's holding up well.
Hello?
There? Yeah, his someone just called.
Oh.
So
got cut out. Hang on.
John stepped out for a second.
His next opponent called.
So Cristiano, do you want to answer that question for him, or
we're not talking to Cristiano? His podcast was eons ago.
Get John back on the line.
Cristiano, hang up the phone. What are you doing here?
How's everything?
Use me.
How's everything, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, pretty good, buddy. Pretty good.
How are you, mate?
Pretty good. I'm good, bud. I'm good, champ.
No, what's going on, man? How is training? Seriously.
Training's been good. Like I've been doing Muay Thai with John for like 3 days a week.
Are you going to do a Thai fight? Are you going to do martial arts, or this is just for fun?
No, just for fun, man. I've had I don't know if I've told you guys. I've had 8 surgeries in my eyes. I'm blind in my left eye.
Are you serious?
Who did that to you? Tell me their names.
I couldn't tell you. I think it was about 19 years ago.
Oh wow!
First happened that. Yeah. In an MMA fight, when I was like 16.
Oh no, man!
Wow.
Hey,
dude, sorry to hear.
Yeah.
So I've been dealing. I've come to grips with it.
Which eye is it? The left?
Mate, so
which eye?
My left eye. Yeah.
Okay, so jab. So we got to jab you then.
That's right. Are you southpaw?
We could be. We're ambidextrous.
I'm back.
You're tied together.
We're Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Americanese twins. John, you're back?
Yes.
John, we missed you.
Yay.
Cristiano is so I don't know how to translate it in Australian.
Fluid.
Yeah,
I guess
he's a dingo.
Yay.
So you were talking about your upcoming fight.
Yes. So turn 40 the 25th of May, and then 2 weeks later, fight the main event in London. So it's pretty cool. To still be get fight offers all over the world at my age is pretty crazy. And then they didn't even announce my opponent yet. They only announced my fight, and then you just watch the social media world take off. Everyone's tagging their friends and telling them to buy tickets and who's going to catch up with who at the fight. And it's very humbling when people are going crazy to know that you're fighting over in their country.
Right. And at 40 years old, how is your body holding up? Yeah,
perfect. I still have the same passion I did when I was 10 years old. I love the buzz. I love the lifestyle. So to still be active in my age with no injuries is it's very cool. Get to live the dream a little bit longer.
Wow.
How do you keep the passion going for Muay Thai?
Money.
You sound like John Wayne McGregor right now.
Yeah. No, it's I strive to walk in front of that crowd and to put on a good performance, and then to get a win, and then to have all the accolades with people coming up and asking for photos and handshakes and high fives and selfies. It makes it all worth it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we run a mixed martial arts school, mainly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but our Muay Thai instructor, he's so jealous right now because he's teaching class as we're talking.
Sucker.
Yep.
Sorry, Woody. But he told us to tell you that he's a really big fan. He's been a fan of yours for a long time. He went and trained in Thailand for about a year just to to train and live the lifestyle like you did, and kind of follow in someone like yours footsteps, to be
Nice.
someone coming from another country and doing what you did, and setting the tone in Thailand for international fighters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, beautiful. That's very cool.
Definitely. Did you start with Muay Thai? Did you start with boxing, karate, taekwondo?
Taekwondo. So taekwondo for approximately a year and a half, and then they couldn't afford the rent anymore, so they moved out. And then 6 months later, kickboxing moved into the same little hall.
Oh.
And then just by pure fluke. So that was the closest to home. So I thought I tried this kick. I thought to myself, it's not taekwondo. It's not as cool as taekwondo, but I'll give it a go, see how it goes. And then I fell in love with it from the very first class. It was a little bit more violent, had punches. It was more contact. And then from there, I moved a lot as a kid. So every time I moved, we'd find a different gym. I'm gonna find my gym so I keep my sanity.
Uh-huh.
And then, just by pure fluke, got opportunity to be sponsored at 19.
Wow.
To go and live in Thailand. So my sponsor was saying, okay, if you're gonna do this properly, you gotta move there for 6 months. So I went for 6 months. Okay, bang, and then the Thai camp rang my sponsor, said, hey, we think this kid's got potential. Can you send him back again? So my sponsor rang me and said, hey, look, do you want to go back to Thailand? I said yes. And they said, okay, this time we've got to go for a full year.
Wow.
Okay, no problem. So I went for a full year, and that just kept happening every year. I just kept go back again, come back, go back. So it was mad. It was, for a 19-year-old, it was such a buzz.
That's awesome, man. And did you have fight? I assume you had plenty of fights while you were out there.
Yeah, well, that's how I survived. Once I got the first 6 months, I was fighting on the smaller shows, and then when I went back for the first full year, I got picked up by the number one promoter, and then I was fighting nearly every month, every 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then that's when I started fighting in the big stadiums and making the magazines and fighting on Thai TV.
I know. Yeah, go.
And Muay Thai is where the money is at, because if I'm correct, because I heard a lot of saboteurs went over to Muay Thai. A lot of guys are switching over to Muay Thai. Is there Muay Thai money?
No, there's no Muay Thai money.
Okay.
It's and unfortunately, but it's just a bigger rush. It's the most. Besides MMA, of course, it's the most purest thing you could ever possibly do, especially when the only protective gear you're wearing is gloves and a groin cup and a mouthpiece.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's nothing on your shins, there's nothing on your elbows. It's just caveman versus caveman.
Awesome. And what is a style you like to fight against? Obviously, I'm sure you get plenty of different styles coming into your gym and sparring with you or training with your students. What is the style like you like to compete against the most that's not Muay Thai? Like if you were to spar someone from another gym, would it be a boxer? Would it be a savate guy? Would it be a taekwondo guy?
Probably
jiu-jitsu guy.
Kids. Yeah. I find kids are very weak, so I can bully them a lot easier.
Me, it's like me.
Anybody under the age of 10.
That does jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we smash our kids on a daily basis. We love it.
You got to teach
Get
them.
up.
Say, get up.
Get up. You know you beat them when they start crying.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
We love
There's that
kids.
one time, Wayne. One time.
Don't hold it against me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, is there any styles you like to compete against besides Muay Thai? Any other kickboxing styles?
No, I'm open. I like everything. I boxed for a full year. I retired from Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I thought the grass was greener for a little bit, so I went to boxing. Had 13 pro fights. That was fun for a little bit, but then it started getting a little bit boring as well because I only got the hands. There's no. It was good, but the money wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. The opportunities weren't there to travel the world. So come back to Muay Thai again.
I know in Thailand, especially in Thailand, when you're coming up, the money is terrible. Like it's just enough to survive. When did you start making decent money fighting in Thailand?
Not really ever.
Not really ever.
Yeah, even when I was fighting the top 5 guys, I was only making $1,500. So
wow.
When I won the world title, my first world title there, I had 70,000, which worked out to be about $3,500. And then my last time I fought in Thailand in Bangkok, I went in an 8-man tournament, and I won all 3 fights, and I walked away with $1 million baht, which worked out to be about 35,000 Australian back in the day.
Wow, that's still like to fight 3 professional bouts in one night to only get that much.
Yeah. So I'm probably the highest, probably potentially the highest earning Westerner to compete over there. And to walk away with $1 million bahts, unheard of. And then the Thais were so upset too. I did a radio interview, and they were all nice to me. And I said, "Oh, can you put your trainer on?" And then he put it on loudspeaker, and they just gave it to him, saying, "How can you teach this Westerner all our secrets?" Now he's walking out of our country with $1 million baht of our currency, all because of you. Yeah, my trainer goes, "Well, what was I supposed to do? He lived with me for 4 years. I consider him like a little brother. Of course, I'm going to show him everything."
That's so interesting because that's like the old school martial arts movies where a guy, moves from America to China, Karate Kid style, and he learns the martial art of the land, and everybody hates him. So people didn't really like you there, or it was just the.
Oh no, it wasn't. They back when I went there in '96, there was only two, probably 3 gyms that allowed Westerners. No other gyms wanted to accept Westerners at all because we were considered the enemy. And then just by pure fluke, the superstar at my gym, he came in for at my hometown. He my sponsor begged them to accept me into their camp. After a lot of begging, they finally came and picked me up and took me to their camp. So, and then I lived in Bangkok. I lived in an area where I wouldn't see other Westerners for like 2-3 months at a time. So I was definitely the only one there, definitely the outcast. And then, to be fighting sometimes you go to the stadium, you'd be the only Westerner in the stadium, and they'd come in and the Thais would feel your arms and look at your body and see if you could possibly compete with one of them. And then when you win, all of a sudden you're the admiration was crazy. Yeah, it was mad. It was so cool.
So did you take on that character of like, I don't want to say the enemy, but the bad guy, the bad boy in the fighting?
No, I on the reverse, I won their hearts over. I became nice. I was a white one that learnt their language, learnt their lifestyle. I slept on the floor. I come from poverty, just like they did, and they took me in as one of them. It was amazing.
Wow.
I can attest to that. A couple of years ago, I was living in Thailand, and I remember getting a taxi, and the taxi driver talking to me, and he's saying, "You're from Australia?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Do you like Muay Thai?" And I said, "Oh, I like to watch it." Talking about it, and then he said, "Do you know John Wayne Parr?" And I said, "Oh, his gym's about 5 minutes from my house." He slammed on the brakes, man. I remember it vividly. I thought I was going to die. You know John Wayne Parr? You know John Wayne Parr? Like, I don't know him. He's just... I wave to him when he runs. That's about it.
Is that when you decided to go train with him?
Oh, man. To be honest, I decided to train probably just before I went to Brazil, to tell you the truth. I went and did a private with Wayne, sorry. I always wanted to. I just never thought about it. It never clicked in my head that I was able to, if that makes sense. Like, growing up here in Australia, actually, Muay Thai was massive a few years ago, especially when I was a teenager and in my 20s. Like, and we had just amazing fights on here all the time. You could see world-class fights in Australia just pretty much every weekend, and it was on Fox Sport. I used to get International Kickboxer magazine all the time.
Okay. Was it K1 Wayne fights?
I think we did. What was in K1? We used to have an organisation here. Tarek Solak used to do it, and a few other ones similar to that. And they just had quality fights all the time. Like, I can't remember a lot of the names off the head, but there was Soren Mongkong Tong and obviously Wayne, and it was Wayne versus Preacher. It was always a great fight to see. And I always thought, I wish I could train with him. And it seriously took till about halfway last year when I thought, I can. What am I doing? He's 5 minutes away. He's literally 5 minutes from my house.
And how is Wayne as an instructor? He's
very good.
How would you rate him as an
good,
instructor while he's on the phone right now?
Ooh, pressure.
Yeah, I'm actually down the street in my car, sitting here at the moment, so I'm protected. No, he's great, man. It's just being able to have like someone of that caliber coaching you. Like when I'm doing the techniques or when I'm hitting pads, and he comes over and corrects me in my technique, and just trying to absorb everything that he's saying. Try to drill that as much as I can later on, like at home, down the aisles at the supermarket. Picking out fruit and vegetables.
Let me ask you this, John. A lot of coaches are sticklers for good technique. Pivot on your crosses, make sure your hands come back to your face, twist the punch at the end. But when they get into the ring, a lot of that goes to shit sometimes. Hands are dropping. Like, how important is it to maintain really good form in the ring? Is it that important, or is it just go in there and kick his ass? And like, what's that about?
Technique's definitely a major factor. You want to try and look as beautiful as possible. You want to do it in style. Anyone can beat up anyone, but to do it with in a style that makes people really appreciate what you do, like it's called martial arts. You want to make it art. You want to paint a Picasso with your violence.
Yes.
The more people can see you're landing the hook into the leg kick, into the knee, into the jumping elbow. It's a beautiful thing to watch. So instead of well and away, you can do it.
Just because I'm sorry, go.
So, you want to stand out for everybody else too. You want to be that guy that people can appreciate. Going, man, that guy is a class.
Right, because there's a lot of guys who are fighters, but then there's guys who paint strokes with their technique, and they're very artistic and beautiful to watch. So is that your agenda when you go in? I mean, I guess the first priority is to win, but it's also just to show your art, is to express yourself. Beautiful.
Yeah, even I've been doing martial arts for 30 odd years now, and then still every day on the pads, we do freestyle. So my pad holder, he tries to catch everything that I throw without warning. So today I might throw a 1-2 hook leg kick, and then tomorrow I might throw 1-2 double hook leg kick. And I'll just vary it every single day that I'm throwing something new consistently. So I'm always pushing my own boundaries. So I'm always evolving.
Okay.
And then on the ring, if I can pull out some crazy stuff that no one's ever seen before, then it's a new highlight for my highlight reel. So.
Oh yeah.
And you're all about the highlight reel now, right? At this point in your career.
Yeah. And then so probably one of the main things that in what I like to teach is power. So I don't throw nothing half-hearted. There's no tippy taps.
Right.
Everything's 100% with venom. And then at the same time, if you're throwing 100% in the gym, when you get onto the ring, you're so used to throwing at that power that you don't get tired.
Yeah.
You don't fatigue. Yeah. So if you're used to throwing 100%, and then throwing in volume too. So my theory is if I throw 10 things, I might land 2 of the 10. But if I throw 1 and miss, I've missed. Whereas if I throw large volumes and land with 30%, it's better than that. Then they're not landing at all.
Interesting.
So you're a volume shooter. If you compare it to people in basketball, you're a volume shooter. The more I shoot, the more chances I have to score. So in your fighting, your fights, the more chances I get to throw punches. Not only do I have more chances to land the strike, but also the opponent is defending more because you're throwing more punches. Every time you punch, they're defending technically.
Yes, and then, also it's intimidation as well. The more that I'm throwing and then I keep throwing, and by round 3, you can almost see your opponents break right in front of you. The first 2 rounds they came out strong and they're giving you the stink eye, and then round 3 you see a defeated man standing in front of you just before the bell rings, and then that's when you know you got him. That's when you know that you've broken him. So,
where would you say, in your expert opinion, that where did Conor McGregor go wrong in that Nate Diaz fight? This is just a kick swig segue.
No.
Just fatigued. He put too much pressure on himself trying to knock out everyone in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
He should have just kept playing the game and just. I know it's cool to say I'm going to knock you out in the first and knock him out in the first. That's amazing. But it got to the stage where he was picking rounds 2s, rounds 3s, and then everyone had to be in the first. Everyone had to be in the first. I'm gonna knock you out in the first. I'm gonna knock you out in the first half of the first, and then he should have just played the game and paced himself, because he was winning the first. He won the first round. He was winning halfway of the second round.
Yeah,
and then just gassed, and then from that moment you could see that he was gone.
Right.
So. I'm sure the next time he won't fall for the same mistake again. He'll definitely a lot more stick and move instead of trying to bully the bigger man. It's too hard.
Now, going with your theory though, do you think maybe it's a good idea for him to train like you train in the gym with throw a lot of volume in the gym and every shot is as powerful as possible, so that Conor can do that when he's fighting? He can fight the way he fought Nate Diaz the first time and not get tired.
Yes, but also at the same time, take that step back, have a breath after every big combo, use the cage. You don't have to be 100% pressure the whole time. A little bit, because 5 fights is a long time to be fighting as well, and you can't maintain that intensity for that long a period. So work your combos when you see something that lands and you do have a reaction, then go for it. And then if you can't put him away, step back and get your breath back again. You don't have to be in the pocket for the whole 5 minutes.
Yeah. So how important is it for someone to realize also that MMA is 5 minutes generally, and Muay Thai is 3 minutes. So you can train the same, but at the end of the day, 5 minutes is almost double the amount of time that 3 minutes is. It's going to be very hard to keep up with a power pace for that long. Yeah,
but also we're not taking each other down either. We're not going up and down, standing up, getting shot in, taken down again. Sure. That's exhausting. That's crazy.
And just the worry of being taken down, just that worry in your head is another distraction to the ultimate strategy of the fight. So that could drain you as well.
Yeah, and going by Conor's past fights too, you can definitely tell that his ground is not as strong as his stand up. So he doesn't want to get taken by someone as the caliber of Nate, because he's a totally different level as well.
Right.
So, but here in Australia, I've created my own promotion now. It's called Cage Muay Thai.
Yeah.
It's similar to MMA. So we use the cage, we use the MMA gloves, but there's no ground. So it's just constant stand up until someone goes to the floor, and then the referee steps in. You separate, you stand straight back up straight away. So I'm trying to take as much of trying to steal as much as UFC as possible, and turn it into spectator friendly sport. So when you're in the crowd, when they hit the deck, straight back on the feet again, so people can appreciate it a lot more.
Can you take an opponent down?
Yep, but as soon as you hit the ground, you stop and stand back up again.
So you can go for like a double leg takedown. It doesn't have to be like a sweep.
Not so much a double leg, more of a Muay Thai takedown.
Okay,
so you can catch the legs, sweep out the legs, throw them down in the clinch.
And those are getting points.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you're showing that you're dominant and strong as well. So especially in Thai style as well, if you throw some down while standing up in the clinch, it means you're the man.
Yeah. How much does it change your game, competing and sparring with the little gloves, the MMA gloves, as compared to the bigger gloves that you would normally use for Muay Thai and boxing fights? Because punches will get through a little easier. Doesn't the distance have to be? You're fighting at a different distance now because the gloves are smaller. Like, how does that change the game?
More faster footwork. You don't want to stand in the pocket too long. So fast footwork. Definitely a little bit different with the guard, but it's still the same range. You're still just about a half an arm length away. So if you see him come in, you can move out as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot more violent, because you know that any punch is a potential knockout punch. So everything that you throw is definitely intended for something evil.
Wow. What other styles have you incorporated into your kickboxing? Would you say you're full-blown Muay Thai? Do you have any elements of Savate? I know you've done boxing, so I'm sure that's added in, but what are some of the mixes in your style?
A few taekwondo moves I like to do. If I'm winning the fight, the last round, I might pull out a jumping back kick or a jumping.
Yeah, I saw that last night. I'm like, holy crap, that's not Muay Thai,
Hey.
but that's awesome.
That's like a slam dunk. I want to try and again make the crowd just get that wow factor. So yeah, it's people are paying good money to see a show. So if you can put on a show, it's pretty cool.
Right. So there's elements of taekwondo, and then you have the boxing in there.
Yes.
Right.
And then because I've been in Thailand so long, trying to make sure everything counts. So lots of bad intensity, bad intentions.
What is your most memorable or favorite technique you've landed in a fight, whether it's a kick or a punch or a combination or a slip cross or something like a counter? What is your most memorable, if you have any, or top 3 in a fight?
Probably my left body kick is probably my favorite weapon. It's such an important tool because if you have your hands up, I can kick your arms and push you off balance. I'm also trying to deaden your bicep to take away your power from your right cross. And if you do try and punch me as I'm letting my left hip go, I'm going to land on your ribs or your body, and then hopefully I can take your wind out as well.
Oh God, that feels so good.
Yeah, and then I like my jab. My jab's unique. It's probably everyone that I've demonstrated on or let them hold the pads for me. Everyone's blown away by how much power I can generate from my jab. Even Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was he was blown away by how much power I can achieve off it as well. My jab's probably harder than my right hand. I've worked on it that much.
Oh my goodness! And what do you attribute that to? Is it how you're stepping, how you're pressing off?
Is there a certain snap to it, or
are you on the ball of your foot, the blade of your foot?
Give us your secrets.
Tell us.
Yeah, between my back foot and twisting my top half of my body. So it's all contributed together. So it's almost like a snake striking. So you see a snake curled up, and then you see a snake strike. I'm trying to implement that sort of motion.
Wow, we will analyze that tonight.
And we will be using that in sparring next week for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
When you're punching someone, there's people who just punch at the face and just hope to land. But are you target locking specific areas? Like, are you aiming straight to the chin, to the neck, to the temple, to the liver? Are you picking your shots and aiming them exactly, or whatever it lands?
Yeah, wherever it lands. So, even if your hands are up, I'm trying to punch through your arm, so you're going to punch yourself. So, and then again, like we were saying before, that intimidation factor where if I punch your guard, I want to punch your guard so hard that you don't want me to punch you in the face. I want to scare the Jesus out of you. So when you think, if that's in my hands and that hurts, the last thing I want to do is get punched on the chin.
Right.
So everything I do is trying to intimidate and to show you that I'm evil.
Now, John, I have a question about your style, about like the deeper understanding of your fighting style. I've heard from other pro fighters that their game is built on a lot of sequences. And a sequence is like, many setups. So like they like to do this, and that, then this, and that, then this, and that. And then they're just revolving the door on, 5 or 6 different sequences or setups. And that's their fighting style. It doesn't look like that from the naked eye, but that's what's going on. Is your style, do you say that you have an arsenal like that? Or is the volume striking that you speak of just as it is, just volume striking, just landing and trying to land every shot with hard intentions?
Both. So I have my go-to moves where I'm trying to be 3 moves ahead of you. So I'll throw a left, right to make you a guard, and then I'll try and throw the hook behind the front guard, or same with the liver shot. And then if all else fails, I'll just keep throwing. If you're covering up and not defending yourself and not throwing anything back, you're pretty much a sitting duck in front of me, and I'll just keep punching until something lands strong enough to rock your world.
Wow.
So how important would you say understanding your opponent and setting them up is part of the game? And do you spend a lot of time do you like to spend a lot of time understanding your opponent, like spend the first minute understanding them, or do you like to just get to work and figure it out as you go along?
Yeah, probably. I'll try and research as much as I can on YouTube, and then once we're in the ring, again I want to feel my opponent's power as well. So the first 30 seconds, 60 seconds is seeing how much artillery they have, and if they hit and it doesn't feel like there's nothing behind anything, that's going to make me grow 10 feet tall. But at the same time, if they do hit hard, I have to be a lot more cautious, and I can't just go in and be blasé about what I'm doing. So, every single element, every single factor, and trying to read your opponent's body language as well. So if you kick them to the legs and you see the slightest wince in their eye, you know that's your go-to move from there on in.
So you're looking for that.
Yeah, anything that gives a slight. If I punch to the body, I'm looking. If I punch to the head, I'm looking. And then if there's something that I don't like, it's like, ooh, there it is.
So when did you feel like it started clicking for you? It's probably a long time ago. You might not even remember, but do you remember when it in sparring it started to click to you? We're like, now I can multitask so much that I could read your body language, I can think 3 moves ahead, I can figure out my opponent, and I can attack and defend at the same time. And you felt like a complete fighter. When did you feel? Do you remember when it clicked for you?
Yeah, I got a story. So when I was 18 years old, I had to go to the fights. And back then I had a very powerful 351 car. The engine was like crazy. Nice. So I went up my street, I did a U-turn, and then I flew down my street, and I was going to fly by my house. And then I ended up crashing my car right in front of my own house.
Wow.
I pulled out. Everyone came out in the street. Everyone was yelling at me. My car was written off. The police came. Luckily, I didn't get arrested or anything. So my friend came and picked me up, took me straight to the fights. I quickly wrapped my hands. They called me up, and I was so angry that I crashed my car. I knocked the guy out in the first 60 seconds.
Nice.
It was from that moment on that I knew that I had to take that same angry aggression into the ring every time I wanted to fight. And instead of playing the game and trying to win by points, I knew from then on in, my whole purpose was to try and smash people. So
nasty.
It was a very expensive lesson, but at the same time, I've never looked back from that day.
So has that become a ritual for you before every fight now? You buy a cheap car and crash it on your way to the fights?
Yeah. So now I just have that same sort of drive as if someone stole my clothes off my washing line or something like that. So you just got to have that same mentality where, all right, it's me or him. One of us is going to go down, and I don't want it to be me. So you're backed up against the wall, and everyone's there to watch you and do the thing. So do the damage.
How do you guys spar in the gym? Do you spar once, twice, 5 times, 10 times a week? Is there multiple times where you're sparring really light? How do you guys spar in the gym?
Yeah, I'm curious.
For my Muay Thai, we spar pretty light, about 30%ish, 30-40%. And then when I box spar about twice a week leading up to my events, and then that's about 90%. So I box spar a lot harder than I Muay Thai spar, because at the same time I need longevity. I don't want to get kicked in the legs too hard or into the body, or need with the point of the knee to my rib cage in case I sustain an injury.
Right.
So everyone's just it's like Thailand. When I first arrived there, they didn't even know what shin pads were. You just spar just enough, and then you know if you got hit or not too. If someone wraps their shin around your body like 10%. You know that you've been hit. You don't have to be hit 100% to know that you got.
Yeah.
So, but boxing's different for some reason. You put the big gloves on, and then it's just like a mutual agreement that you're gonna punch the crap out of each other.
Plus, your gloves will eat a lot of their gloves lots of the time because the gloves are so big.
Yeah. We wear the 16s, and then I have a gentleman who's an Australian champion here, Les Sherrington. We're always going at twice a week for the last couple of years. And then you get that fight fitness as well. If you're punching hard for 5 rounds twice a week, you know that leading up to the event that you're ready. You've done the work in the gym. There's no question marks as you're walking onto the big show.
Wow.
Do you have any tips for not beginners in Muay Thai, but beginner competitors, guys that have been training for a year and a half, that want to start competing really seriously, and it doesn't have to be at that point. Do you have any tips for beginners? Like, hey man, you should definitely wait to compete, or start drilling this, start drilling that.
Yep. Just listen to your trainer. Feel comfortable in sparring, and then believe in yourself as well. Believe that you're the greatest fighter on this planet. You have that self-belief, and then whenever an opportunity comes to fight, take it, because you learn on the ring.
Yeah.
And then the more that you fight, you don't know who's in the crowd too. So one day you might get a win, and then all of a sudden someone will come in, hey, look, I got this company. Would you like me to sponsor you some shirts or some apparel or some fight gear or some supplements? And then from there, hopefully more doors open, and they might start giving you a little bit of money. So it's a hard business, but if you can impress the right people, a lot of doors can open before your very eyes. So it's just being positive, believing in yourself. And if let's pretend there's 10 fights on the card, you might be the first fight or the middle fight. You want to make sure that you're the fight everybody's talking about when the show's over.
Gotcha.
You want to outshine the main event. So when people walk out, I can't believe that John Wayne guy. Holy crap, that was amazing. So try and steal the show every time you get the opportunity.
Wow, that's great advice. And just like you said, go for the kill, go for the smashing. Destroy your opponent each time, and people will you'll turn heads for sure, right?
Yeah, and even if you don't win, if you put on a performance, you might get dropped. You might get dropped 4 times. You might get cut. But at the same time, if you can get back up, grip down on your mouthpiece, win the last round. Who cares if you got beat? If you can put your head on the pillow, knowing that you got beat by the better man on the day, but you gave it all that you can. You can't do better than that. You can still live with yourself. You don't have to question mark yourself. You know that, all right, unfortunately it didn't go my way, but I know that I gave it every single ounce of energy that I had.
And I like what you said about competition. Compete often. That's your practice. There's nothing like practicing in the ring. So it's fair to say that every competition, your next fight is always your most important fight, but every fight is always practice for the next fight. Like,
yeah, it's not easy walking in front of might be 1,000 people, then 10,000 people. I've been lucky enough to fight in front of 100,000 people 4 times.
Wow.
And the first time I did it, I went weak at the knees. I tried too hard the first few rounds. I gassed out like Conor McGregor did. I went the distance, but I know I could have fought better. And then the second time I said to myself, no, I'm not going to let the occasion get to me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to enjoy it. And then I ended up having the greatest fight ever. And then, so yeah, I can say till I'm black and the blue in the face, oh, this is going to happen, or this is the emotion it's going to feel. It's until you experience that emotion yourself, and then how you're going to deal with it. It's all up to the individual. So yeah, you can't teach experience.
Yeah. Wow, that's so important. What is do you have any pre-fight rituals? Are there any things that no one knows about that you do right before a fight?
Besides crashing a car.
Yeah. I like to have a prayer the night before the event. I'm not exactly sure how far away heaven is. So if I do it day of, I'm scared it's not going to be delivered in time, and then I'm not going to get the big guys' help. So I do it the night before. I abstain from touching my pee-pee for about 2 to 3 weeks.
Very specific.
2 to 3 weeks. Oh.
Yeah, if it's a big fight or a world title fight, I'll go 3 weeks. If it's just a normal fight, I'll go 2. And it's pretty cool too. I'm saving water in the shower as well. My showers are only 5 minutes, 15 minutes.
What about sparring sessions? Do you abstain from that a day before sparring session, or it's all good?
Yeah, approximately a week, just in case I sustain any injuries. So about a week prior to a fight, I'll stop sparring.
Okay. And so what would you say is the single most technique every Muay Thai competitor should focus on, like should have in their arsenal? If you don't do this technique, there's one strategy even, you're missing out big time. Do you know of anything? Could you describe any one thing?
Defense. So anybody can attack. It takes a genius not to get hit. If you can walk out of the fight and your shins are still good, you're not cut, and you can go out and party with it. That's when you're a legend. You can win the fight on pure aggression at the same time, not walk out with any bruises. That's hard.
Wow.
So the defense is one. I pride myself on my strong defense, although I have a lot of stitches though. So,
yeah, you have like 1.5 million stitches, right?
Yeah, 317.
Wow.
Give or take.
I think I have like 60.
Ooh, I remember when I had my first 60.
Oh, when you were 15, right?
Jeez, I was still wearing nappies. I think yeah.
Nice.
You got 60 just from forget it.
Yeah.
Touching your pee-pee.
Yeah.
John, provided that you got two athletes, both skill sets are equal, speed and power is equal, what determines who wins? Is it in the timing? Is it in the faking and the feinting? Like, both skill sets are equal. Everything's equal. What's the determining factor?
The will to win.
The will.
So the will. If you have that never say die, and if you got that factor where there's nothing on this planet that's going to make you, and the only thing that's going to stop you is the referee pulling off your opponent, then that's a massive advantage. Yeah.
Wow.
So. Yeah, so even with my boxing, I wasn't the most technical boxer, but at the end of the day, it was a fight. So I just went in with that same aggression, like we were talking about before, about crashing the car. If I went in there and it was either you or me, I don't care what the rule set is, but you're going to get, even if I lose, you're going to get really hurt.
So even if you're getting out-techniqued, it doesn't matter. As long as your will is strong, it's undying, you're going in.
Yes.
Wow.
And give me up until the last 30 seconds of the fight too. I can lose the first 4 rounds. Give me 30 seconds. All I ask is for 30 seconds, and I can still stop you in 30 seconds, and I'm the man.
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I love that mentality. Whenever people say, even if you're losing the fight, the last 20 seconds, even the last 10 seconds, the last 5 seconds, even if you're stuck, just the last 5 seconds, you better be trying your hardest. Never give up, not even a second left on the clock. Just keep trying. Even if you're stuck, you can't do anything, right?
Yeah, even if it's the best one when you're cut and bleeding, and then you can come back from a cut and show the crowd that I'm not even slightly affected by having half my head missing. I'm still gonna knock you out.
Wow.
That's scary when a guy's like got this big gash on his head, blood flowing down, and he's coming at you like a madman. That's pretty scary.
Yeah,
Terminator.
It used to drive me crazy because I lived in Thailand for so long, and all these Westerners would come and go, and then they'd get on the big show and they'd fight on TV, and they'd get the smallest scratch, like might only need 2 or 3 stitches, and some of them would give up on their stools on TV. And I think to myself, what are you doing? You're representing the Western world, and because you got a little scratch, you're gonna give up on your stool? You crazy? And then the Thais are just you can lose the fight, but still win the Thais respect. Right. And that definitely is the opposite. That definitely just makes you a laughing stock. You're just they respect people that have heart. So it doesn't matter if you win or lose, but if you can show heart, no matter what the circumstances are, then you can win them over. But to give up because of the slightest little thing is the word dog. when you dog it is the ultimate insult. Go home back to your country with the tail between your legs.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, John, that's a good thing. Interesting story behind this kind of thing. I was watching the Ultimate Fighter show the other night, It was like the first episode of the new season, and
Yep.
it was all the fights to get into the house. I don't know if you guys seen it. But
Not yet, no.
there was one. Maybe I shouldn't give it away then, right? Should I?
That's all right. Yeah.
It's it's really irrelevant. The guy didn't make it, but there's a guy on the show that's fighting. Spoiler alert! There's a guy on the show fighting to get in the house, and he was on one of the old seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, and
and
he
Who was that?
Like,
I forget this guy's name. Exactly, I forgot his name for this reason coming up. And in the old season, and you guys probably remember him if you saw most of the seasons, he quit in between one of the rounds to get on one of the old shows. Like it was the middle of this. I think it was in the middle of the first and the second round. You know, they're on their stool waiting to come out, and he's like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." Big muscle guy.
Yep.
So then he makes it back, 6-7 seasons later, onto the show to get back in the house. And then they're giving his story, like he's telling his story on the show, and he's like, I've been fighting for the last couple of years. Yeah.
did you just crash your car?
Nah, it's the garage door going down.
He was like, I've been fighting the last couple of years. Everybody's. He's from Paris. He's like, everybody was like looking at me bad and telling me how much, how terrible I am for giving up, and I've been trying to redeem myself. That's why I came back on the show. So this guy,
I remember that guy.
Yeah, you remember him. So this guy
yeah.
comes back on the show, fights the first round, goes all out. Second round, gasses out. They don't even show the whole fight, but gasses out. So you've been waiting all this time, and you wind up gassing out. He gasses out in the second round, and it looks like he's not trying. Like my point about the story is, you can still be like dead tired, but it looks like you're trying. This guy didn't even look like he was trying. And then after, he's like, I gave it my hardest. I'm just happy that I redeemed myself. I never gave up. Blah blah blah. But like you were dead tired. You gave up inadvertently, and he wasn't even trying. So I feel like people can get really, really tired and still look like they're trying, even if they can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
This guy was a disgrace.
Well, remember Gilbert Melendez, Diego Sanchez.
Oh, that was
Oof.
crazy.
Oh man.
So even though Diego lost, mate, what a fight!
Yeah.
Like that third round was the fight of the round of the year.
Yeah.
And then who cares who lost? They put on such a show that Diego won. He lost the fight, but won the crowd. So that was stuff like that is inspirational.
Sure.
Right.
I think Diego won that last round, if I'm not mistaken.
He won. He dropped him. Yeah, he dropped him and jumped on him, and I think he put in a rear naked, but it couldn't quite secure it.
Sure.
Mm.
And then Gilbert won the first two, no problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the third round that Diego knew that it was all or nothing, and then he just went crazy. It was mad. It was so good.
So awesome. John,
He's so known for doing that, for coming back, for just fighting, and there's no quit in him. He's an incredible athlete.
he is a
And look at Misha Tate, her last fight with Holly Holm. Holy shit!
crazy.
Same deal, losing for the three of the 5 rounds, and then comes back and locks in the choke and wins the title. So that never say die.
Yeah, so inspirational.
Where do you? Well, I'm gonna change my question. Who inspires you? Like, what fighters like really influence you, inspire you? MMA fighters, Thai fighters,
Kickboxing fighter.
kickboxers.
Raymond Deckers.
Legend.
He's a man. Raymond's the man.
Legend.
So yeah, his power and intensity and his violence is just second to none. so when I was in Thailand, I got to the stage where every time that I'd question myself if I could fight somebody or if I could keep training, or I just asked myself, what would Raymond do? And then that would inspire me to try and walk in his footsteps and become that warrior that he was.
Nice.
Are there any MMA fighters that you look up that not that you look up to, but like you're really impressed by their stand up? You really like what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm a massive UFC fan. I love it. So yeah, I got all the respect in the world for most of the guys in there. And then I chat to a lot of guys on Instagram too. I've got so many UFC guys. I currently got Luke Rockhold, Joanna,
Champion.
yeah, so many. champions. I got Dominic Cruz. I got 3 champions on my Instagram that
Nice.
it's mad. It's so cool. And then
Nice.
that's not even including the other 30 or 40 that are on the roster. That are Frankie Yeager. It's mad. It's so cool.
What do you think about
Don't forget
Joanna?
me. Don't forget me.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
What do you
him.
What do you think about Joanna? I really, really, really love watching her. She's an incredible striker. What do you think about her?
Yeah. And Muay Thai is sick. It's so good. It's so good to see a Muay Thai champion come into the UFC and do so well. And just like Mark Hunt's a former K1 champion Muay Thai guy, and Carlos Condon, all these guys. Frankie Yeager, like I was saying before. Dominic Cruz uses his angles, uses his striking. Even the Diaz brothers. They're not quite Muay Thai. They got their own unique style, but at the same time, they're high volume strikers.
Right.
So I appreciate all these guys, just not from their striking, but just their tenacity to want to try and to win.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I have to ask you, because he's been my favorite fighter for a long time.
His favorite fighter is Chris Lieben.
What do you think about Chris Lieben? No, what about Anderson Silva? What do you think? Because he came up known as a Muay Thai fighter, but his style has evolved, or not evolved, but has included many things besides Muay Thai. What do you think of Anderson Silva, and what do you think about the current state of Anderson Silva from his last fight?
Yeah, he's definitely unique. Definitely not a Muay Thai guy. He's so strange. He's almost animal instinct sort of. Hands it down. I rate him as still is one of the greats. He was very unlucky against Bisping. He's sort of at that stage now where it's almost he's too cool for school.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to try.
Right.
He wants to rely on that one shot to knock you out, and if he doesn't get it, because with Bisping, that was a fight he definitely could have won, but he just didn't want it bad enough, I guess.
Yeah, it almost seemed like he was like it seems like he's bored trying to win fights now. He almost just wants to pull off cool tricks that he's been practicing in the gym.
Yeah, for sure. The jumping knee against Bisping was cool, and then
that was
but
lovely.
then he just didn't capitalize on it. He let Bisping outwork him.
Yeah. And I thought Anderson still won that fight, but unfortunately you can't win a fight based on damage alone.
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought Bisping won. I thought just from the work rate, it was even though he wasn't landing as much as he high volume and only landing a small percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying before, a small percentage is better than no percentage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you like Michael Bisping because he is a volume guy?
Sort of. He's unique.
He's basic.
There's other guys out there that I cheer for before I cheered for him.
That's kind of you to say in that.
He's the gatekeeper. He's good. He's not quite the high level, but he's also not quite the. He's a good B class.
How about Luke Rockhold? Are you impressed by him?
Yeah, I met Luke last year. He's cool. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great athlete.
Yeah, he's really cool. And then I'm really looking forward to the rematch with Chris Weidman. Yeah. So I met Chris last year as well, or the year before. So he's a cool guy as well. So that's gonna be a really good fight. I thought Chris was winning that fight too until he tried that back kick. And then after the back kick, it all went downhill because he just seemed to lost all of his. He missed the kick and then he got jumped on and then he never came back from it.
You didn't teach him.
Before that, I thought he was winning.
You didn't teach him that back kick, right?
I don't teach bad shit. I teach good shit.
Oh, snap. Boom. How do you think this next fight is going to go with Weidman and Rockhold?
I think it's going to be a lot closer, and I think don't know. It looked like before the back kick, it looked like Luke almost was almost going to give up.
Really?
Then once Chris missed the kick and he jumped on top of it, and then you could see he got that second win. and then there was nothing going to stop him from that moment. But before that, he looked very deflated.
When you say deflated, do you mean like his intensity in the fight? Do you mean his forward momentum in the match?
How we were saying before about body language.
Okay.
You could see the Chris just had that extra edge.
Okay.
But then it all went downhill, and then once Luke realized that, hang on a second, I can win this still, and then he grew into a monster.
Yeah.
Right.
His confidence was at a supreme high that next round.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Once he got the takedown and then got on top, and then from that moment on, he knew what he had to do.
Sure.
How does Connor Nate 2 go?
Connor.
How does that look?
It's not looking good. I think Nate's too skilled. He's too big. That's the only factor, and then probably the ground game too is a different level also.
Yeah.
Too big, too long.
This is the first time anybody's ever said Nate is too big for anybody.
He's 145 to 170 is just crazy.
Yeah. Now, what do you think if they were the same size? What if they were exactly the same size? Obviously, it's hard to say that they're the same size because Nate's game is based on reach fighting, and he's generally longer than his opponents. But what if they were a lot closer in weight? How would that fight go?
Still Nate's ground games. He just looks like a black belt. Whereas even with Chad, Connor was struggling with Chad Mendez before he gassed.
Yeah.
So I don't think. I think once he goes to the ground, it's all over. Nate's too strong and he's too smart, and he's that guy that he's thinking 3 moves ahead. He's punching to the face to secure an arm or secure under the chin.
Yeah. Is there any fight you're looking forward to the most coming up in the next 2 or 3 UFCs?
It's going to be interesting to see if George comes back. There's a lot of hype around that, so it'll be interesting to see if they match him or not. I was looking forward to the Cormier John Jones fight, but that's off.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see where Ronda goes, if she's going to come back and fight Misha again, or she'll fight Holly.
Yeah.
The Amanda Nunes first is going to be very exciting. I think I have a lot of respect for Amanda Nunes. I think she's a killer.
Yeah,
she's awesome. I think she tends to fade though in that 3rd round.
Oh, okay.
But first and second round, a beast.
and Misha's stand up is she's very vulnerable. She can get hit a lot. And I think with Amanda's intensity, it could be a very dangerous fight for her.
Yeah.
She can't underestimate her at all. Otherwise,
and Amanda's no slouch on the ground either.
Yeah, she's a beast all over. She's awesome. I really rate her. I'm glad that she's getting the opportunity to fight for the title. I think she deserves it.
Definitely.
All right, John. Well, we want to be mindful of your time, and we really appreciate you coming on. You too, Cristiano. But
no worries, mate.
But more John, not so much Cristiano.
Awesome. John, very informative, man. You dropped some gems on us.
Nice.
Great nuggets.
Is there anybody you'd like to shout out? Obviously, you want to promote your fight coming up. Please.
Yeah, so Muay Thai Grand Prix in London at the O2 Arena. It's going to be insane. My main sponsor right now is Monster Energy. So a big shout out to Monster.
Cool.
They've been looking after me for a little while. I'm currently the only Muay Thai guy in the world to be sponsored by them, so I'm really happy.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so at 40 years old to be sponsored by a major corporation like that is a dream come true.
Awesome.
So yeah, and thank you guys for having me on. That was mad. That was really fun.
Oof, thank you, man. We got to do it again. We really appreciate you coming on. You're such an entertaining guy. You're really a cool guy to talk to personally.
Hey, and I'm a little bit funny too.
and you're cute too. Can you punch? Can you punch Cristiano in the liver for us?
He's gonna find me first, mate. I'm hiding under the bench.
One last question. Just by talking to me and just hearing my voice, do you think I could beat Cristiano in a sparring match?
I'd start from thumb wrestling and then work your way up from there.
I'd have to say he looks a little stronger than me, but I have the height and reach advantage on him.
Ooh, nice.
We'll find out next year.
We'll find out next time on.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot, guys. We really appreciate it, and have a great day.
Yeah, guys.
Hey, cheers, gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Peace.
See you, boys. See you.